Good morning, everyone. My name is Jameson, and this is my chapel speech. Our theme for Pole's House Chapel Week is compassion. So, what is compassion? Well, the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines compassion as sympathetic. No, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna try that again. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Jameson, and this is my chapel speech. When I moved to Canada and came to Appley in grade 10, I had a really difficult time making friends and fitting in. I was super depressed, and sometimes, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do that one more time. I swear, this is so embarrassing. I'm sorry. Hello. My name is Jameson, and this is my chapel speech. To be honest, I really didn't want to do a chapel speech. I've never been very involved in chapel, and I couldn't overcome this idea that I would have to stand up here and tell you how to live your lives, when in reality, I don't even know how to live mine. I don't have everything figured out, so it gives me the right to just stand up here and pretend like I have all the answers. I wouldn't even know what to talk about. The moment I found out that I got a prefect position is easily one of the greatest moments of my entire life. However, after a couple weeks when it started to sink in a little bit, I realized I would have to do a chapel speech. And as you saw before, I wrote this puppy like 5 or 6 times, but I couldn't come up with anything that was both meaningful and felt like the real me. All I could ever get down on the paper was that first sentence, "My name is Jameson, and this is my chapel speech." After months of stressing about this, I decided, just write my speech on that right there. My name is Jameson, and this is my chapel speech. Finally, I found a topic that I could put some meaningful message into, but still felt like me. So, YOLO, let's do it. My name is Jameson, and this is my chapel speech. Let go. All right. Let's first look at the first part of that sentence. My name is Jameson. Yeah, my name is Jameson, and according to most people here, this probably seems pretty straightforward. However, to my family and my close friends, not so straightforward. Back in the day, I was a pretty disproportional baby. I had a huge head, which just didn't seem like it at all belonged on the rest of my body. And my parents, being the straight savages they are, started calling me the Head as a nickname. Even now, if you come to my house, in the backyard there's this huge sculpture of a head, I guess just to remind us of how oddly shaped of a baby I was. I don't really know. That's them. Then, on top of that, as I grew from a baby into a toddler, I became extremely, extremely fat. Not even like a cute Garfield type of fat. I was ugly, it was tough to carry me, and it was really rough. From this, my parents kind of took a more positive spin on it and started calling me Big Boy. Slowly, I grew out of my mild child obesity into a somewhat regular-sized kid that did all the regular kid stuff, like go to school and play outside. Then one day, I came home from school and randomly started talking about this person, J-Mo. My parents didn't know who or what the heck I was talking about. Was J-Mo an imaginary friend? Was I speaking the third person but couldn't pronounce my own name right? We had no idea. My parents couldn't figure it out. A couple months later, still not knowing what I was talking about, my parents visited my school for parent-teacher interviews. Walking through the hall, they saw in one of the little cubbies the name Katie Jocko. Turns out Katie was apparently my first crush because I combined our names like a celebrity couple and out came J-Mo. This became my nickname for a couple more years. Eventually, I outgrew J-Mo again and took my intended name of Jamie, This was my name for most of my life, from New York to Belgium to Atlanta, Georgia. So, flash back a couple years. Here I am in Georgia, being called Jamie, having a great time, loving life. And then we get a call. Turns out I have to move to Canada. Yeah, Canada. Really, Dad? Of all the places, you chose Canada? Thanks. So, Canada. I moved here in grade 10. And it's fair to say I wasn't too thrilled at all. I thought the city of Ontario was in the province of Montreal. And I was nervous about surviving the frozen tundra that you guys like to call seasons. Still getting used to that one. Plus, on top of that, I had to go to some super expensive, fancy private school that forces you to wear a uniform and doesn't even have a football team. Thanks, Obama. So, finally, here I was at Appleby. Depressed, lonely, scared. Worst of all, I didn't even know who I wanted to be or even what to call myself. As we go around the room, my first class at Appleby, career guidance with Mr. Chang, we're all asked to write down our names on a piece of paper. Simple task. Holly writes down Holly. Camber writes down Camber. Fernando writes down Fernbush. I don't know why you did that. Don't know why we're friends, but Harry writes down Harry. What do I write down? No clue. No idea what to write down. I decide out of nowhere to go with my real name, Jameson, which no one had ever called me in my entire life. But that's what I decide to put down. So people start calling me Jameson. After months of being at Appleby, being called Jameson, I still don't have many friends, and I couldn't understand why. Am I unfriendly? Am I weird? All right, bad question. Yeah, I'm a little. Is it because I don't know hockey? Maybe it's because I don't know how to use the words wheel or bar down in a sentence. Either way, I decided it would be a good idea to pretend like I did know hockey and try to use the words wheel and bar down in hopes of making friends. This only made the situation worse. Still not having many friends, halfway through the year, I came to the conclusion, forget it. I'm going to be myself, and if people don't like it, well, I don't like them, okay? I made the best friends I could ever wish for and had the best high school experience I think imaginable. In the end, I guess it doesn't even matter what you call me. To my peers, it's Jameson. To my parents, it's Jamie. To my best friends and family, it's somehow still J-Mo. And according to the random sculpture in my backyard, I guess I'm still the head. Nonetheless, this phenomenon of my ever-changing name was easily seen when my dad, with his thick New York accent, picked me up at the NAC one of my first days at Appleby, pulled up in the car, rolled down his window, and went, "Hey, J-Mo, big boy, get over here." So, no matter what I call myself, Jameson, or what I'm doing, a chapel speech, I'm being myself, and that's what's important. I encourage you all to do the same, not only with just your name, but whatever your background, interests, hobbies, or insecurities are, stick to whatever it is that makes you, you. Be yourself. That brings us to the second part of that sentence. This is my chapel speech. Before, I described Appleby as some super expensive, fancy private school that forces you to wear a uniform and doesn't even have a football team. All right, all true and very valid points. However, as I stand up here doing a chapel speech, I now believe we're so much more than that. Behind the beautiful campus, uniforms, flat screen TVs, and wonderful scenery that's so easy to appreciate, I think who we are and what we do is so much more important. From the environment we create to learn, to the respect, responsibility, integrity, and compassion we show every day, I'm actually proud to say I attend that super expensive fancy private school that forces you to wear a uniform and doesn't even have a football team. Our theme for the week is compassion. And personally, I think compassion is absolutely key. Not low key or high key, but just super important, all right? While respect, responsibility, and integrity are all necessary for a school to function, our compassion and empathy we show for each other every day is what sets us apart. From our Syrian refugee and United Way weeks to our everyday actions, the compassion shown within this community creates something more special than any pamphlet, flyer, or drone video can ever show. The people here and the compassion you show every day is what makes this place so special and is what encourages me to do this very chapel speech. Look around. Look around. For every newly renovated hallway, there's an S2 helping a middle schooler tie their tie after chapel on the first day of school. For every pretty view of the lake, there's that one guy that just always holds the door open for everyone. For every new Fujitsu computer, there's just that prefect who makes that one lonely kid feel at home at new student orientation. This can all be seen in our prefect theme for the year, Snapchat, or what's your story? Everyone that goes to the school has their own story. We all have our own backgrounds, experiences, interests, problems, and opinions, as probably seen in your Snapchat stories. When all these stories come together and everyone contributes, we become much more than a group of individuals. We discover Appleby College, and we become a community that I'm proud to be a part of. We all have our own individual lives, but when we come together as one, we create something so much more special. We create Appleby. So, what's my story? Well, at the start, I described how I did not want to do a chapel speech at all. However, as I stand up here right now, I cannot be more thankful for this opportunity and for my friends who encouraged me to get up here and do this. Furthermore, I'd like to thank all of you here. One way or another, you have helped me become who I am today and helped make this place as special as it is. So, what's my actual story?